What's going on, guys? My name is Joseph. You can call me Joe or Joseph. I really don't care, but that's not why you're here. The reason you're here is because of football or the Bears or anything. And essentially, since this is my first video, I do want to just real quickly just say, yeah, this is going to be a channel about where I can talk about football um, with you guys. I want it to be interactive. I want to just talk about my love for the game and my just passion I have to talk about the game. So I thought, why not do it on a channel, right? So this will be kind of a rough first video, but if you stick for the for the insights and not, maybe just the quality, then I promise it'll pay off. So yeah, I'm just gonna get right into this. Today we're gonna be going over the Bears draft class from this year. So maybe how their careers have looked so far, what they've done, what they haven't done, things we're looking for, and all that. So, yeah, I mean, without further ado, let's get right into it. Starting off with round one, pick 10, we have Colston Loveland. And, say what you want about the Bears drafting him when they did in the position they were in, but he's got a pretty cool come up. This kid was raised in sorry, I mean, when he was a kid, I guess I mean, was raised in a small town, Gooding, Ohio. He played high school at Gooding High, and he played both sides of the ball actually as a linebacker. He even ran, and by his senior year, he had 1,000 yards, double-digit touchdowns, and multiple interceptions, big hits on defense. He was a four-star recruit, went to Michigan. Uh, Over 3 seasons, he had 117 catches, 1,466 yards, and 11 touchdowns. He earned all Big Ten honors twice, and he ended college as one of the most complete tight ends in the country, as I'm sure many of you guys saw when watching the last few college football seasons. Now, obviously, when you're the Bears, very new situation. Ben Johnson hired, and back at his time in Detroit, we saw him running a lot of two tight end sets, heavy sets, a lot of two tight end sets. Sam Laporta, uh, kind of just formations like that. So I mean, we kind of expected that was kind of what he was going for, and I think starting off, it wasn't perfect for him. I think they're still trying to distinguish a role for him with Cole Kmet and Colston Loveland on the roster. You see Cole Kmet as kind of a safety valve guy. Hasn't been having the greatest season, but I just feel like the tight end production has been overall down for Chicago this year, which I don't know if there's anything specific attributing to the fact that that's happening, but it has been happening regardless. But you look at Colston Loveland and Cole Kmet, they're two different players, right? Colston Loveland, this dude is borderline 6'7", 250 pounds almost. Very clean route runner, super good hands, and obviously super good after the catch ability, as we saw in the Bengals game. We've seen him play in flex occasionally, and yeah, I mean his only downside is really he's still kind of filling out his frame. He needs work run blocking, and he has shown flashes though. Obviously, you have a guy like Tyler Warren in the same class, which has it's unfortunate now because now when people hear Colston Loveland, they're gonna look at him as the guy that was taken before Tyler Warren. I'm sorry, and I think he has been underutilized no matter how you look at it. I think if you're gonna spend a top 10 pick in the NFL, you have to utilize a guy like that. But I do like what Ben Johnson has been doing. It seems like he's been increasing Colston Loveland's workload, and we have seen flashes, serious flashes. I mean, just look at the Bengals game, man. That was an absolutely staggering tight end one performance. Um, just super good after the catch ability. I mean, this dude was just bouncing off tackles left and right. I mean, Caleb looks like he has a lot of trust in him, and um, from a personality perspective too, he seems really like he keeps his head down. He has stated that he doesn't his role is the last thing on his mind. The stat sheet isn't what's on his mind. The stat sheet is if he can utilize himself as a player, and I think he's done just that. And I really think it is way too early to come to any conclusions calling Colston Loveland a bust. I think that he has had a solid season considering his situation, uh, an offense full of mouths to feed. And I really like what I've seen from him so far. And I think you give it 2 or 3 years, and Colston Loveland will be a premier tight end in this league. All right, next up we have Luther Burden III. He is a wide receiver out of Missouri, one of the flashiest names in the pre-draft process. little bit of a draft stock fall due to a few reasons. Definitely had a bit of a down year in his senior season at Missouri. Obviously, the character concerns. But here's the deal with him in general, right? He was born in St. Louis, born in 2003, and he went to East St. Louis High School in Illinois. He played football and basketball, and he was a five-star recruit and ranked as one of the top offensive players in the entire 2022 class. He had a ton of offers from Alabama, Georgia, but he did end up choosing Missouri and is one of the highest recruits that they have ever recruited in the last 2 decades. He immediately burst onto the scene as a freshman and continued that with a biggest year of his sophomore season. Obviously, I'm sure many of you guys know, just a very explosive sophomore season that had him in a lot of first round mock drafts. Bit of a down year in his junior year. Uh, Now I'm realizing I said senior year earlier. I meant junior. But yeah, we did still take him in a day two pick, and just adding to the mouths to feed on this offense. A lot of analysts really liked this pick, and I think the general fan base did as well. Obviously, like if we're talking about an after the catch guy, an elusive guy, a guy who can get open in space, route running, that is Luther Burden, right? And honestly, I'm not loving how he's being utilized. It starts with obviously a move that a lot of people didn't really like this year. This year was bringing in Olamide Zaccheaus, which for one, I actually did like the Olamide Zaccheaus signing. I don't think that Ben Johnson anticipating having him as the slot wide receiver and wide receiver three on this offense for the entire season, and we're already seeing him phasing out of that role and Luther Burden kind of being put in more into that role. And I really do like to see that, but I do think that having Olamide Zaccheaus there at the start was a good decision because Luther Burden needed someone to sit behind, to learn behind, even as a wide receiver. And I think Olamide Zaccheaus did just fine in that role. I think he is obviously more of a wide receiver four guy, but it was good to have him in that role while Luther Burden was learning the basics and everything that he needed to learn. Obviously, Olamide Zaccheaus had 2 weeks ago. He had that game with about 3 drops, which is something you don't like to see. But now Luther Burden is finally starting to get phased more into a established role. Obviously, we saw him in week 3, which I do have a clip. I was actually at that game, and I somehow got that play on video, which I will include in a second here. I don't know when I'm going to include it, but I will. And yeah, man, I mean, he's been usually used on screen plays with a few chunk plays, and yeah, obviously that big touchdown. He did have a concussion, but he's back now. Stats don't really tell you the whole story with him, but you can literally see the role that Ben Johnson wants him to have in the offense, and it's more of like a gadget guy, screen slot work, similar to what we've been seeing with DJ Moore this season, which that's a topic for a whole nother video. But yeah, I mean, I think he's a guy who has real wide receiver two, maybe slot wide receiver upside. Obviously, insane after the catch ability to get open in open space, and I think he has an upside of an 1,000-yard receiver for numerous years to come if he can get some of the things that he's been needing to get down. Obviously, maybe some catching problems, not anything serious, something that can be worked on with time. But we have seen his struggles to catch contested catches, but it's not really his role. I feel like his role is the guy who can get open, kind of stress defensive horizontally. I think he's been good at that. I think there have been numerous plays where he has been wide open and missed, and I really do like him as a prospect, as a player, and I'm really excited to see what he can do. And I do think that he has been a little bit underutilized this season, as has everyone else. But I do think that as we've seen his role get increased, it will just continue, kind of like what we're seeing with Colston Loveland. I do think it's going to be a little bit of a similar situation. And yeah, that's about it for Luther Burden.
Oh! Oh!
All right, next up here we have Ozzy Trapilo, the 56 overall round two tackle out of Boston College. Really big guy, 6'8", 310 pounds. Went to Boston College High School and stayed home at Boston College. He was a starter for many years in college. Was only a three-star out of high school, but kind of just developed in college into a better player every year, every year. I actually had heard of him a couple years ago. He's one of the least penalized players in college football, actually. Just I think about 10 penalties throughout his whole college career. Really big guy, honestly, and I think that's part of the reason why the Bears took him. And you see a position like offensive tackle have a little bit of an inflated draft stock just due to how hard it is to find quality tackles, and you see prototypes being taken more. By prototypes, I mean players that have these elite physicals, these these elite athletics. I mean, take not the same position, but edge rusher Shemar Stewart from the Bengals. This guy had, I believe it was 6 sacks throughout his college career, had almost similar to a Myles Garrett build, and the Bengals banked on him being able to be developed into a player like that. And I think that's similar, obviously not to the same extent, but maybe what they're trying to accomplish with not Theo Benedict, Ozzy Trapilo. And speaking of Theo Benedict, the thing with Ozzy Trapilo is he has been sitting behind Theo Benedict. Obviously, he was behind Braxton Jones, alternates left tackle and right tackle, but he has not started except for against the Raiders, where Braxton Jones was out and Darnell Wright was out, and Theo Benedict played on the left side, whereas Ozzy Trapilo played on the right side. Obviously, not a great game to have your first career start in, facing off against Max Crosby, but as Darnell Wright has gotten healthy and honestly became one of the best tackles in the NFL throughout this season, we have seen Ozzy Shapiro not really being used as much as you'd hope to see. We're talking under 150 snaps on the season, and I like to trust that Ben Johnson knows what he's doing because Ben Johnson deserves a whole video. Great coach. I love everything he's doing with the culture in Chicago. The draft, and maybe this is more of a polls thing, which we know how we feel about polls drafting. Maybe just me, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Um, I do think he's being not used to his extent, especially when you're using a second round draft pick. That is a very high draft pick. We're talking almost able to get Mike Green, a very good edge rusher that would absolutely be helping our team out right now. And we're using someone who was a healthy scratch for the first few games, Ozzy Trapilo being. And yeah, man, I haven't seen him as much as I'd like to, but he's been all right. Maybe like a B minus, C minus play style when we have seen him in these limited snaps. But just sitting behind Darnell Wright, obviously. But I would like to see him over Theo Benedict. Theo Benedict has been fine. I believe he went to British Columbia University. So shout out Theo Benedict, man. I mean, I like the story from him, but I do want to see Ozzy Trapilo start to maybe phase into that role more because obviously we're spending a second round draft pick on this guy. We want to see him. We're not starting the undrafted free agent over him, which is exactly what we are doing and what I don't like to see. And yeah, Ozzy Trapilo, man he's we're looking at like a future starter, right? He's got a big frame, low penalties, multi-year ACC production, not a small division, not the biggest, but you know what I mean. And I really think he's going to be a key part of why the Bears feel a lot better about their offensive line, especially with depth. It's good to see depth in the offensive line, especially with injuries this season. And yeah, and just going into this Caleb Williams era, having people like not Theo, I keep saying Theo, Ozzy Trapilo developing behind people like Theo, not Braxton Jones. I really do think Braxton Jones' time in Chicago is about over. But yeah, hoping to see him starting by next year or maybe even year three in a position that we definitely need, assuming that we don't draft someone in the first round in the upcoming year. So yeah, that's about it for Ozzy Trapilo. Okay, next up we have we have an interesting one. This is round two, pick 62. Shemar Turner. He was listed in the draft as a D tackle, but he played edge his whole career at Texas A&M and in high school. Um, so I'm just listing him as a D tackle edge, especially because we've seen him in an edge occasionally with the Bears. But yeah, he played at DeSoto High School in Texas, which is obviously a big football school. I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of it. Then he went to Texas A&M. He was a starter for 4 years. Uh, he had a breakout season in 2023, got second team All SEC honors. Now, since I said he was an edge rusher, and we see so many players nowadays just putting on like 20 pounds before the draft and moving to defensive tackle, but he is 6'3", 290 pounds, and yeah, he goes from inside a tackle to outside a end, you know? And the interesting thing about Shamar Turner is that this dude is like crazy, and I mean that in the best way possible. But it is really funny, honestly. Like when this dude got drafted, he literally said that he is like here to steal lunch money from the players. Like, and then like, I saw another thing. I don't know exactly like why, but he barks at his opponents. Like his intimidation tactic is barking at his opponents. But honestly, man, I love it. I have nothing bad to say about that. But yeah, Smart Turner, I think he was a little bit of a reach. All right, and here's the deal with him. I think he's an amazing run. He's really good at run stopping, but he is just not there at getting to the quarterback in pass rushing, right? And I don't know, man. I'm really conflicted on him. He wasn't even doing great. He had six tackles, two tackles for loss, and then in week 8 he tore his ACL. Which, I mean, obviously that's not on him. That's not his fault. But tearing your ACL is never good. So I'm really hoping that this man can make like a good comeback, come back and have a little bit of the same, edge he had that kind of made us take him. But that obviously does really, really sting to lose him like that, especially on a Bears team with not amazing defensive line depth, to say the least. Obviously, you have Austin Booker coming back from IR a few weeks ago, but I mean, as much as I want Austin Booker to succeed, he's not quite there yet, and I don't even think Shemar Turner was either. So Shemar Turner is, I think, probably one of the first bad picks that we might have had. I think Ozzy Trapilo has definitely shown promise, whereas Shemar Turner, I think, has been a little bit underwhelming, especially for, I mean, give or take a late round a late round 2 pick. But I mean, yeah, this just isn't what you're wanting to see from a round 2 pick, regardless of anything. I do like what we saw when he was in an edge rusher as opposed to a defensive tackle. I like that Ben Johnson let him do that because I think he did better there, and I do like his competitiveness. To an extent. I think at some point it's like, all right, man, we're in the NFL, right? Come on. I do like it though. I'm not gonna talk down on him for that. I think it's funny. I think it's cool. But yeah, Shamar Turner, man, probably the first pick that I need to see more of before I can be sold on him. So yeah, that is about it for Shamar Turner. Man, oh man. Oh, how I feel about Ruben Hyppolite. Hyppolite. So, all right, let me just start. We did take him in round 4, right? 132nd overall. We didn't have a third round pick, by the way. So, yeah, I don't expect every player to be a star, but let me just express kind of my anger that I have with this pick. First off, this dude was projected to be an undrafted free agent, seventh round, like ceiling of a sixth round pick. And it's just, oh my, it's the principle, man. I don't understand why we did that. And let me give him a chance here, okay? Stu grew up in Fort Lauderdale. He went to American Heritage School and then transferred to MacArthur High School to graduate earlier. And as a high school player, he was rated a 4-star recruit and was one of the top 25 linebackers nationally. He committed to Maryland, had a 5-year career there, played in 51 games, finished with 236 tackles, 3 sacks, 13 tackles for loss, and a few pass breakups. Um, and yeah, this is okay. The reason we drafted Ruben Hyppolite is because of his speed, right? And yeah, at his pro day, he had a 4.42 second 40-yard dash at 236 pounds, and that's really good for a linebacker. He has the athleticism. He is a sideline to sideline linebacker. He has like really good range, natural instincts, and he can pursue plays from like far down the field. It's just he's a project, man. And I understand it's the fourth round, and I'm not expecting every player to be a star in the fourth round. But why did we take him? We could have had someone like I genuinely think that we could have had Ruben Hyppolite in the sixth round. If we really wanted to take him high, we could have gone to the sixth round. The fourth round, man, like I don't get it. I don't get it, man. Um, ah, it just he didn't even go to the combine, and he had a workout there that Chicago really liked. Which yeah, he was a good. He's really fast, man, and he's this dude's played 31 snaps on the year. Finally got his first chance to have a career start this previous week against the I'm blanking. Oh my God, against the Steelers. I'm sorry, and he literally got injured. Which again, that's not his fault, but I'm just it's the cherry on top, man. I don't know how I feel about Ruben Hyppolite. I'm not sold. I'm not even close to being sold, man. I'm on it. It's nothing on him, right? I think that this dude, I mean, he's a project. He can be developed. It's the fourth round. I'm not expecting us to have some insane key player right away, but I just don't understand this pick, man. And maybe that's why I'm not in a front office, but it was widely agreed on that this was a reach, and I think that he has done nothing but prove that throughout this season so far. Obviously, he can't control how many snaps he's getting, but when he has been on the field, he's been at best a Man, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to think about him. And I'm gonna have to see more. Ruben Hyppolite, that's about it for him, man. Okay, next up here we have Zaw Frazier. Round 5, pick 169 cornerback out of UTSA. I'm going to keep this one pretty quick because, as most of you guys probably do know, this he is sitting out the entire year. This was announced before preseason, I believe, for a personal issue. I've seen rumors online, but none of it's confirmed, and I honestly just recommend staying away from stuff like that. We don't know what it is, and it's quite frankly none of our business. And yeah, man, I'm not gonna lie, this game is a lot more than just football. Mental health is real, and I am really hoping and praying that he can get better and possibly be able to suit up in for incoming years, obviously. But yeah, the game is a lot more than just the players playing, right? We need to make sure that they're mentally in the right headspace, and that's what I guess he is sitting out for. So, but I mean, I don't want to undermine how good this guy was at UTSA. Like he really was kind of like a sleeper pick, I think, from the Bears. I was honestly really high on him on the pre-draft process, believe it or not. He had, I believe, 7 interceptions one year. And yeah, man, I'm sorry, this footage, obviously it's UTSA, not the biggest college, so some of this doesn't have the best quality, and I mean, yeah, you can just kind of see, but I mean, you can see enough, man. But I mean, he's big frame, 6'3". He's got really long arms. He's honestly really fluid for his size as well. And I mean, that's what got him on the Bears' radar. Uh, he's got, yeah, just super good length, recovery speed. He's really good at like press man. I think he has potential there. He matched up really well against bigger receivers in Conference USA, and I mean, he flashed in man and zone, kind of a hybrid guy. I genuinely think that he is a big sleeper in the draft, and I am hoping to see him hopefully make a return to football. And yeah, but overall, just deeper than football on this one. Just sitting out for personal reasons this season. Hopefully, he can get better. And yeah, man, really excited to see him though. I was just again really high on him on the pre-draft process. I was really glad to see we took him with pretty interesting cornerback room in Chicago. But I mean, yeah, man. As you can see, like these are some legit plays that he was making here, and yeah, that's about it for Zoff Frazier. All right, final two picks here. We have round 6, pick 195, Luke Newman, guard out of Michigan State. And I'm just gonna get this out of the way. I'm not gonna gas it. I'm not gonna gas every single pickup as like someone we're expecting to be great. I established that earlier. But what I will say about Luke Newman, I mean, obviously we're taking him in the 6th round, right? This guy isn't some crazy prospect, but he has been really solid from what I've seen for what we drafted him to be. We drafted him as offensive line depth, which is honestly something that we did need. And he has shown potential to play guard, tackle, center. We have only seen him on left guard and right guard snaps. I believe he has under 30 snaps played on this season so far. But this guy was all over the place at Michigan State and Holy Cross earlier in his career. And man, he can play all over the offensive line, and it is just perfect for what we drafted him to be. Just a depth piece, and a depth piece that can play all across the offensive line. I mean, just gotta love gassing up of offensive linemen, man. They really just are so unappreciated. And yeah, so he started his career at Holy Cross from 2021 to 2023, where he started 37 consecutive games at left tackle, showing that versatility again. He earns so many honors. He was a 3-time All-Patriot League first team and 2-time FCS All-American. And then in 2024, he transferred to Michigan State, where he started all 12 games at left guard and was among the most used linemen in the Big Ten, leading the Spartans in snaps with 739 for the season. He graded out well and earned honorable mention All Big Ten honors. He isn't a high profile first rounder, right? But like I can't describe I just really liked this pick, okay? And maybe that's just me being a nerd and geeking out over a round 6 back half of the round 6 guard. But I do love it, man. He has looked really solid too on his snaps that he has played. And yeah, just a great pick for what it was, and I am excited for him to kind of just stay. And let me establish, I don't think he's a starting caliber guard. I don't think he's going to start for us for, I mean, maybe a year if we're really shallow. Maybe Joe Thuney retires. I could see him starting a year, kind of like just in a position while we're waiting to upgrade. I don't think he's a starting caliber guard where he is right now. And I don't think that's what, I mean, that's just not what we drafted him for. And what we did draft him for, he has been great at. So I think that this is a great pick. And yeah, that is it for Luke Newman. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. My goat, Kyle Monangai, man. I'm not gonna go too crazy on the glaze, but let me just start, okay? Whew. Kyle Monangai, round seven, pick 233. Let me rephrase. Kyle Barry Sanders Monangai. Drake May lover nod there. Anyone? Okay. Uh, but oh man, all right. Rutgers back. This dude was amazing in college. I think he is the steal of the NFL draft this year, and I think you should believe the same. And I'll show you exactly why, man. He had 5 seasons at Rutgers. He rushed for 3,221 yards, 27 touchdowns, and didn't fumble once. He is 5'8", 207 pounds, compact build, bro. And this dude, he's low to the ground because of that size. He's really strong though. He's balanced. Like he can hit holes. He follows his blocks. Oh my, like, oh, I could make a whole video about Kyle Monangai, man. And he's not gonna outrun everyone, okay? One of the main concerns with him was his speed, his breakaway speed, but he doesn't need to have breakaway speed. He is literally a north-south like grinder, man. He just has like the perfect mentality, everything. He is a round seven pick, but I think this dude could have borderline been a fifth, maybe even a fourth round pick. Yeah, right, that was a bad voice crack, whatever. But oh my God, man, I see if Kadeem Carey worked out. This is Kadeem Carey if he worked out. Anyone? Like I see this dude on the field and I see Kadeem Carey. Same number, almost the same hairdo. Like it is just Kyle Monangai has been one of my favorite players to watch this whole season. I mean, I have my real if y'all use real, I have my whole real account named after him, Kyle Monangai, or it's just Monangai season, SCSZN. Sorry, that's a little bit of a shameless plug. But like I just love Kyle Monangai. I love everything he's about. He runs with power. He runs with just such determination. And like this play that we're watching, this whole film session that we're watching right here, the Bengals game, he looks so good. And I know he's slowed down a little bit since then, but he's a seventh round pick. The expectations don't get lower, and he has just more than exceeded those expectations, man. And I just really am super high on him. And I think that although I don't think he has, I don't think he should start for years to come. And that's just not crazy to say. I love Kyle Monangai. I love him as a prospect, but I don't think he's starting caliber. And I think that what he should be is a rotational player, almost like what we see with, obviously not the same role, but like Tyler Algier. Like I could see that with Kyle Monangai for years to come, man. I love like this play right here. Oh my goodness, just a masterclass. And yeah, man, Kyle Monangai, he is a player to look out for if you haven't been already. So that's it for the draft class, man. All right, if you guys are still here, thank you so much for watching. I actually hope you did enjoy. This is my first ever video. I really wanted to find a way to talk about, I do think I have good knowledge of the game of football, and I wanted to find a place where I can share it and talk with other people who have the same fascination, especially with the Bears. I'm not going to be exclusive to Bears videos, but I think I can make any other videos. If you guys just want to comment and let me know what you want to see, maybe anything that I should improve. I didn't have a script for this. I literally just had notes of every player's background and their performance in my notes app, and I was kind of just looking off of those and just going as I went. Which like even right now, I mean, I'm sure I just had a lot of uhs, a lot of ums throughout this video. But if you made it through this whole thing, that means that you enjoyed it, and I mean, just thank you so much for watching. And yeah, overall though, this draft class, I think what I'm kind of wishing I did was like give a grade for each player. And if you're still here, I'll give that to you now. Let me just do this on the fly. Colston Loveland, I'm gonna give him a C+ to a B-. And that is, I'm not going off potential, I'm going off simply what they have done this season so far. I think that he will be better, but I just can't give him higher than that, especially considering the season Tyler Warren is having. But, I mean, yeah, man. I do like Colston Loveland, and you guys know that. You guys heard what I was saying about him. I am simply going off of what I've seen so far. Next, Luther Burden. I think I'm in the same range. I actually think he's maybe a C+. I think C+ is perfect. Maybe B-. I think C+ is good though. In between C+ and a B- for Luther Burden, man. And I don't think a lot of it's on him. I think he's shown really good promise, and I think he should have been should be being used more already. We did see him used a lot more last week, but yeah, man, I mean, he just hasn't. If you watch, you know, and I can't give him higher than that. Next, we have Ozzy Trapilo. I can't really say anything too soon yet about him just due to the lack of playing time, but I do have to go C minus. Um, I think C minus is perfect for him. Next, Shemar Turner. I'm going I'm going C minus to D plus. Obviously the injury sucks. He can't control that, but I don't love what I've seen from him. And yeah, I'm not going into my full thoughts, which the whole video you just watched is what that's about. So you can see my full thoughts there. But this is kind of just to give a grade because that is something I wish I did earlier in the video with every player. So yeah, next after Shemar Turner, we have Ruben Hyppolite. Ruben Hyppolite, I am going to give a D to a D minus. I do not like what I've seen. I think a D minus is actually fair for him. Maybe, yeah, I can't give him an F plus. I think D minus is good for Ruben Hyppolite. I mean, I'm not ranting about that again, man. I could be here all day ranting about Ruben Hyppolite. But no, I mean, maybe that's a stretch. I'm overreacting, but I mean, you guys heard what I had to say. But next we have Frazier, which in A. I'm not gonna give him a rating for this. He hasn't played yet, so and it's something that isn't football related, and you know hopefully he can get better, obviously. So no rating for him yet. Hopefully he can get better. Yeah. Next we have Luke Newman. Oh my God, I'm doing this like as I go. Luke Newman, I mean, dude, I find it hard to like give a, because it sounds like if I give a sixth round pick a B plus, it's like, oh my God, like he must be really good. No, what he's good for what we drafted him for, and for that reason, I think he's a B. I think he's a B. I think he has been great for what we drafted him for. No, he's not a A plus, as in he is a starting caliber left guard who has just been a splash player on the offense. But I think that he has been perfect for what we have needed him to do, and when he has had to step up and be on the field when a player was subbed out, he has done perfectly. And yeah. Next up, we have, oh my goodness, can I stop blanking? Luke Newman, that was Luke Newman, so now I'm talking about Kyle Monangai. Kyle Monangai, I'm giving him a B plus. I'm not gonna give him an A just yet, but a B plus for Kyle Monangai. You know, I was going a little bit crazy on the praise earlier, but really, man, I do think that Kyle Monangai is a great, it's just such a steal too. In the seventh round, I mean, Kyle Monangai, man, Kyle Barry Sanders Monangai, Kyle Ladanian Tomlinson Monangai. I mean, at this point, I should be saying Barry, Kyle, Monangai, Sanders. All right, I'm going a little bit crazy, but yeah. All right, man. I think I got to end this. This took actually a while, a lot longer than I anticipated it to. Very minimal editing I'm going to be doing. Again, this is my first video. I'm not really seasoned with like video editing, but I really do hope you guys enjoyed. And if you made it this far, oh my God, I can't believe I'm saying this because like this is what I hear this and now I'm the one recording it. But hey, if you like the video, subscribe. Maybe like the video. No, but I mean subscribe if you actually want to see. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think I would assume that if you've watched, I'm talking way too much. I'm sorry, but I would assume if you've watched this video, that if you've watched up to this point, you enjoyed, and I would appreciate if you would subscribe. You know, support me. Hoping to make some more videos and maybe just do this, man, get a good fan base. Not a fan base, but just people I can talk with, right? I mean, just in the comment section, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on the picks. Anything I missed, I mean, not players, but you know what I mean. Just like your thoughts on the players individually. I mean, that's part of the reason I made this. I want to hear what other people have to say. I want to hear what you guys think about my thoughts on these players. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing Thanksgiving. Hope you have an amazing day. And yeah, man, just thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one, I guess. All right, peace out.